All right, so what I have today is what's called a smart bot, but it's a submersible water pump. These things can come handy when you have any sort of flooding issue, or you have water where it's not supposed to be, or you need it out. If you're doing any sort of garden sprinkler or plumbing work, or if there's a flood, you can use one of these to suck all that water out to get at whatever you need to get at. So this machine is a 1/2 horsepower unit rated at 2,800 gallons per hour. Auto flow, auto on, auto off. That's very convenient. Anti-clog, auto off to prevent breakdown from clogging. Just see what's on the outside of the box here. Flows continuously when knocked over. Auto off to prevent clogging. Auto off to protect dry running. So that's good because it protects the pump from cavitating. Some of these pumps, and probably this one, needs water going through it so it won't cavitate or mess it up. There's a lot of the older pumps that you could buy, several years ago, and even some of the cheaper ones out there probably, that still do not have any of these safety systems in them. So you do run the risk of when it runs out of water, and if you're not periodically checking it, you could seize the pump up. This one apparently has the safety mechanisms built in. It's very nice. And then here you can see some examples on what they use it for. So let's open it up. Owner's manual, as well as many different hose ends and connectors. Pull it out, nothing left in the box. So this machine is not that heavy. I have used some submersible brands or pumps in the past that, for whatever reason, they're pretty heavy to begin with. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if that's important to you, this one probably weighs about 15-20 pounds. So have a look. It's where you connect your elbow or any of these other attachments. Down below you have the inlet where all that water is going to be pushed up through. Gotta say, it does look pretty cool, and even the plastic feels to be pretty good quality. Nice long cord, long enough anyways. Everything's been waterproofed. So these are the hose attachments. Nothing too extravagant here. You can basically fit an array of tools onto it. So here in the instruction manual, they list everything that it comes with. You got your elbow connector, a straight connector, these two, and then you have a 2-inch to 1.5 inch, 1 1/4, 1 inch, and then a 3/4, as well as the instruction manual, of course. So they also tell you to only use this with water. The box says that. You don't want to use this with anything combustible, such as gasoline or even oil, for that matter. They also stipulate that if you use it in a pool, you don't want to use it if the water contents of caustic materials, high chlorinated and or foreign materials are present. So if you have a highly chlorinated pool or a saltwater pool, I probably would not use this with it. So let's go ahead and set it up and see how it works. So just for demonstration purposes, to start with, we're going to use this with a normal garden hose. So we're going to undo the cord. Just get that out of the way. And then I'm going to use the 2-inch elbow here. Now you do have these O-rings, and you want to have those make a contact that's good enough. Here's the end for a garden hose. And we're just going to stick the garden hose on and in place. Requires 2 inches of water to start pumping. So the interesting thing about this pump is if we were to plug it in right now, there's no on-off switch that you can access as the user. When it detects water, it automatically turns on. So we're going to test that too. And you also have where the eyes are, the green and red LED lights, power on, pump works normally with green. Red indicates that there's an issue. And we have troubleshooting in case anything goes wrong. And then this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the inlet where the impeller is. And in order to clean this out, it tells you how to do it. It looks like it's very simple. So 6 screws in total. Yeah, that looks very simple. I'll show you guys how to do that too. So this is another thing that should be kept in mind. If you want the total flow rate, you're going to have to use the 2-inch hose. Something like that, which we'll use here in a minute in the swimming. Limited warranty, you get a 12-month warranty. So if anything goes wrong, you can always contact them and see if they'll help you out. So I'm going to plug this in, and we're going to throw it in this. See how well it works. To make things easy on the camera, grab the hose here. Let it suck all the air out of the line. It's also got about 25 feet of hose it's got to push the water through. So we'll give it a second. There we go. Still got to push all the air through the hose. But honestly, that's not too bad. So what I'm going to do with the hose here is bring it out into the dirt, and we're just going to let this thing empty this bucket of water and see how it does. Sucking it down pretty quick. See if it automatically turns off. Not bad. And it just shut off. So I would say that works pretty good. Let's try it in some more water. So here we are at the pool, and as I mentioned earlier, if you're using this in a highly chlorinated pool, they don't recommend it in the manual. So take that for what it's worth. But I'm gonna go ahead and stick the end of this hose on. Got the hose going out and back into the pool because I don't need to start draining my dad's pool. We're just using this for a demo. But here's the 2 green lights for eyes. Already got it plugged in. See if I can rearrange the camera here so you guys can see a bit better. Turned on, give it a minute. So even with the hose kinked a little bit like it is, It's getting a lot of flowage out of there. Let's pull it out and see how long it takes for that to shut off. Imagine how much power the motor in this thing has to have to be able to force that much water through a 2-inch hose. That's pretty good. Well, I'm going to shut it off and we'll take it back to the workbench and show you guys how to clean out that impeller. Alright, so now I'll show you guys just how to remove this bottom piece here. The machine is unplugged. So there's a total of these 6 screws as said by the instructions. We're just going to pull these out. So then we have the O-ring, as was mentioned. But you just want to look through here, make sure there's no debris or anything that's caught in here. Any sort of big pieces or leaves. You can see there is a little bit of debris that did get caught in the vent here. So I'm happy with that, nice and clean. This indent right here goes right underneath here, just in case you forget how you took it off. There's also dowel pins, it looks like. These two here to lead you back on and in place. So there we go. So overall, it's not a bad little machine. This is definitely going to see a lot of use around here. We have issues with water getting where it shouldn't be all the time, so you're going to definitely see some usage. Not bad for the price either. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more.